It was 6 years ago this week that I launched this YouTube channel. I was actually on a Walt Disney World vacation filming for this planned channel when they shut down due to COVID. Now, 6 years and over 400 videos and a lot of adventures later, we're going to spend a few minutes looking back at the places we have stayed as we've been traveling through the last 6 years. My husband Jack, who is my part-time cameraman and reluctant co-narrator, is with me, and we will discuss our 10 favorite hotels or resorts that we have stayed in since this channel began. There won't be any typical chain hotels on the list. It takes a special place with special experiences to make the top 10. And, of course, if we've never been to a resort, or even just haven't been there since the channel started in 2020, it won't be on the list. If there's a hotel or resort you love that we haven't been to that you think we should check out, leave it in the comments. With that, let's look at our favorite hotels and resorts.
Number 10 is the Kingsmill Resort in Williamsburg, Virginia. Located on the banks of the James River, this resort features 330 guest rooms and condos. Many guests are attracted to this resort by the 3 18-hole championship golf courses on site. 2 of the courses are open to the public, and 1 is private. But there's much more to do here, including 15 tennis courts, a spa, and 3 pools, one of which is indoors, plus a lazy river. There are 4 restaurants on site at Kingsmill, along with the lobby bar. This resort is within just a few minutes' drive of Colonial Williamsburg and the Busch Gardens Williamsburg theme park. Like all the resorts mentioned in this video, Alice has created a full tour and review video of Kingsmill. She'll put links to those videos in the description below this one.
Number 9 is also in Williamsburg, Virginia. It is an excellent family resort known as Great Wolf Lodge. This is one of a chain of 23 resorts across the country that are known primarily for their large indoor water parks. This is the only location I've been to, but from what I've seen online, the other locations all have the same basic experience. The resort has a rustic backwoods theme with a log cabin aesthetic. In addition to the indoor water park, this location has an outdoor pool with slides that's open in the summer. The indoor and outdoor water park activities are included with your stay at the resort. They do have activities that cost an extra fee, including Magic Quest, a live-action adventure that takes place throughout the resort, as well as duck pin bowling, laser tag, and arcade and gem mining. There are also free activities for families staying at the resort to enjoy throughout the day, too. There are 4 or 5 different dining options. I've tried them all, and reviews are included in that resort's video.
Number 8 is the Gaylord National in National Harbor, Maryland. This is one of 6 Gaylord hotels across the country. We have stayed at this Gaylord resort as well as the Gaylord Palms near Orlando, Florida. Our footage here is all from the Gaylord National in Maryland though, as that is the one we stayed in most recently. The Gaylord hotels are all big convention hotels. There's tons of convention space. They are also known for huge glass garden atriums. The one in National Harbor, Maryland has a 19-story glass atrium that overlooks the Potomac River. The atriums have a lot of theming that relates to the region the hotel is located in. So the Gaylord National, which is near Washington, D.C., has some historical and colonial theming. The Gaylord hotels are also very well known for their annual Christmas festivities. The public spaces are thoroughly decorated for the holiday, and numerous Christmas events are held throughout the conference center space. Most require a separate ticket to enter. There are often Easter and Halloween events too, but they're much more low-key than the resort's Christmas celebrations. Gaylord National also has an indoor pool and a small arcade. Some of the Gaylord hotels, including the one in Florida, have water parks. They all have several restaurants and bars. Every Gaylord property's headlining restaurant is a steakhouse called Old Hickory. They usually have a sports bar on property as well, in addition to other options.
Number 7 is Cabana Bay Beach Resort at Universal Orlando Resort. This is one of the value hotels at Universal Orlando, meaning it's one of their least expensive properties. One of their most expensive properties lands elsewhere on the list. This is a retro 1950s and 60s beach-themed resort. Even though it's one of the less expensive resorts at Universal, we had a great stay at Cabana Bay. There's a large food court with lots of different types of food available. They also have pool bars, an ice cream shop, and some grab-and-go food options too, as well as a Starbucks. In addition to being steps away from Volcano Bay Water Park and a short bus ride away from the other Universal parks, there's a lot to do at this resort. There are a couple of different pools plus a lazy river. There's an arcade and a bowling alley. We loved the retro vibes, and while it is at the less expensive end of Universal resorts, we found the actual experience we had here to be every bit as good as many, but not all, of the more expensive Disney hotels.
Number 6 is Heartsong Lodge in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. This is the newest hotel at Dollywood. While all this footage is from Heartsong Lodge, we have also stayed at the original Dollywood Hotel, the Dreammore Resort. We liked it a lot too. Though Dreammore does come off feeling a bit more like a luxury resort, we just like the new resort, Heartsong, a bit better. The prices between the two resorts are similar, and Dreammore Resort would have certainly also made this list if we were doing a top 20 instead of a top 10. The vibe in the hotel's public spaces is like a rustic, smoky mountain lodge where the family can gather in front of big fireplaces and 4-story lantern-inspired atrium windows. Heartsong Lodge has both an indoor and outdoor pool, as well as children's activities hosted at Camp DW. The resort has several dining options, including its main restaurant, Ember and Elm, featuring locally sourced and inspired comfort food. We visited within a few days of this resort opening to the public, and it was just such a nice resort. We can't wait to go back someday.
Number 5 is Disney's Yacht Club Resort at Walt Disney World. This is a nautical-themed deluxe resort. Deluxe means it's among the most expensive options at Walt Disney World. Like all deluxe Disney resorts, there are several dining options, but the resort's signature restaurant is the Yachtsman Steakhouse. There are other restaurants and lounges, including pool bars and grab-and-go options. Our room was nicely appointed and nautical themed. We love that this resort is on Crescent Lake with some other great resorts that have great dining options, and it's a short walk or boat ride from Epcot. But what this resort is known for is the best hotel pool on Disney property. It is a 3-acre pool area called Stormalong Bay that it shares with the beach resort next door. There are sand-bottom pools, a huge shipwreck-themed water slide, and a lazy river. We spent a weekend here a few years ago and didn't even go to the parks. Except for a visit to Disney Springs one evening, we just stayed at this fairly expensive resort the whole weekend and had a great time.
For number 4, we're back at Universal Orlando Resort, this time at one of their more expensive properties, Loews Portofino Bay Hotel. Inspired by the seaside village of Portofino, Italy, this resort is a short walk or water taxi ride away from Universal City Walk and the nearby theme parks. This was such a beautiful hotel. We've never been to the Italian fishing village of Portofino, but this definitely gives off the vibes that we get from looking at pictures of that area. The building architecture and the wide-open piazza made exploring this resort a lot of fun. There were great touches everywhere you look that made it feel authentic. I'm not sure we'll ever get to actually visit the Italian Riviera. That would be even more awesome, obviously. But this is probably as close as you can get to the experience in the US. This resort has 6 restaurants, an arcade, a bar, 3 outdoor pool areas. It is an expensive resort, but we saved up money and splurged for a couple-day stay here and thought it was totally worth it.
In Asheville, North Carolina, we visited the closest thing to a legit castle that we have seen in the US, the Biltmore Estate. They have built a couple of hotels on the grounds, so you can spend several days taking in all that the area has to offer. We stayed at the number 3 hotel on this list, the Village Hotel on Biltmore Estate, for a couple nights. This is the less expensive of the 2 hotels on site. But even though it wasn't the most expensive option, we still loved this hotel. It was right in the middle of the action, located near several shopping and dining options, as well as the Biltmore Winery and some family attractions like a playground and petting zoo. The main attractions of the Biltmore Mansion and Gardens are a short drive away. There's so much to see and do at the Biltmore Estate that you can't really take it all in during a one-day visit. This hotel lets you visit at a more leisurely pace to experience all that Biltmore has to offer. This hotel had some nice dining options and an outdoor swimming pool. And you just head out the back door and up a flight of stairs to get to all the nearby attractions.
Number 2 is the Cavalier Hotel in Virginia Beach, Virginia. The historic Cavalier in Virginia Beach opened in 1927 and quickly became a top destination for luxury and hospitality. However, it closed in the 1970s and fell into disrepair over the next few decades. It was about to be demolished when a plan was hatched to save the Cavalier. The hotel looks great following its renovation and 2018 reopening. It is an expensive option. There are plenty of less expensive oceanfront hotels just down the road from this one. But if it's in your budget, this is a great place to stay. Our room was nice, our bathroom was huge. We liked the food at the Hunt Room, a tavern that mostly serves pub fare, better than at the more expensive and sophisticated hotel restaurant Becca, but it was all good. They have a great indoor pool in the Cavalier, as well as a distillery in the basement of the hotel that you can tour. This is across the street from the beach, but once you proceed across the crosswalk, there's a beach club that Cavalier guests can go to with beach access, and an outdoor pool overlooking the beach. On either side of the beach club are the Cavalier sister resorts, which both have some other really good dining options.
The number 1 resort in this list is Bungalows Key Largo in the Florida Keys. This is the most expensive resort we have ever stayed in, but it is also all-inclusive. By the time you factor in the food and drinks we had during our stay, that made it feel a little bit more reasonable. I loved this place. We saved up and splurged here for our 20th anniversary last year, and I don't regret it at all. My husband, who doesn't ever mind staying at the Motel 6, regretted it a little, but even he had to admit the experience was awesome, even though it was expensive. This is an adults-only resort. Guests get their own bungalow. There's an outdoor private yard with a soaking tub and shower and sitting area. The resort looks right out on the water. It has a relaxing zen pool as well as a more active party pool. There are several restaurants where your food is included in your stay. You also get a couple of bikes to ride around the property. There are some water activities to enjoy. It was just such a great stay. It was easily the highlight of our trip to the Florida Keys. I went back and forth on the order of this top 10 list and moved most of these resorts up and down the list in preparing this video, but one thing stayed the same. Bungalows Key Largo was always number one. We don't mind staying at inexpensive hotels along the way in our travels. We've stayed at a number that were so bad in the last 6 years that we didn't bother making hotel tour videos about them. But we do think a nice resort can be a great way to enhance a vacation when it fits the travel budget. Check out the links at the end of this video and in the description below if you want more details about any of these resorts. Let me know in the comments about any resorts you think we should try, or what you thought of any of my picks. Click the subscribe button and notification bell so we can see you the next time we're traveling through.